Okay. Hi YouTube. So now's about time when I'm gonna start winning runs in Frickbear's Pizza. And I decided to make a separate video on that to describe, like, what animatronics I'm picking and why I'm picking them. Of course, it's gonna be on Lunatic difficulty because I made my entire playthrough on Lunatic difficulty because, I'm kind of looking like this guy here. And I'm going to make my usual picks on what I would do to win a run. I'm not really gonna decide to go down a specific run, really. And, yeah. Actually, no. I'm gonna go about Talbot's run, because, I forgot to record my run in the Talbot files. That was embarrassing. Anyways, we're gonna pick Fritz, and then we're just gonna play the game, yeah. Didn't think I'd be playing the game again, but here we are. Now, this video is gonna go mostly unedited because I don't feel like it. However, if I do need to edit it, I will. Anyways. Always starts with Circus Sorter. It is just the most efficient and best way to farm tokens, especially if you have the time, which is through nights 1 to 3, usually. Now, of course, to unlock this, you first need to beat Talbot. You first need to go through the Talbot files area and unlock it through that, which I technically had done, because I ended up resetting my run because it was absolutely horrible if you saw the last video. I was dying on 4 seconds, because Plushcraft is annoying as hell. Oh, a bit rusty. Oh well. It's been a hot minute since I played this. I've mostly been doing other things like Baldur's Gate. Speaking of Baldur's Gate, would you guys like to see me do a playthrough on that at some point? Modded or not, I don't really care. I've mostly been doing stupid things with it, like trying to play the game solo. Without any allies. So, that's fun and interesting. Barring that, though, I'm just, you know, farming tokens. Now, this is why Circus Sorter is so good. It ramps up in tokens, in token gain, very quickly here, because you can just kind of, yeah. Because as more time passes, more of them spawn at faster intervals, which later on ends up having some really funny instances of creatures. Right, Balloon Boy's already active. Alright. Anyways, you're also going to want to have your cameras on cam 6 at all times, so you can just do a quick flip and reset the music. Keep your temperature down, you know, basic stuff. Oops, I messed up. Like I said, bit rusty. So the goal of the first night is, one, to not mess it up, because you want as many tokens as possible. Especially since we're going Talbot file run. Because, like I said last night, I messed it up.
Hi.
And every time you flip down the camera to put on the mask, we're gonna flip it back up. And the moment you flip it back up, you want to reset music. You can reset it anytime. You don't have to wait for the puppet to start yelling at you for it. Anyways, temperature. And you can also use multiple devices at the same time, as some of the tutorials explain. You don't need to be just in the office and waiting. Now, obviously, this is resulting in more power drain than needed, but whatever.
Hi. Bye-bye.
Use this starting night to kind of get into the gist of how we're kind of gonna play this. Of course, this is just my playstyle. Play however the heck you want. I'm just saying this is how I would do my playstyle.
That was a piece of cake.
And that's why you want to check your doors instead of just relying on sound. Anyways, do that. Anyways, this time, maybe I won't screw up Circus Sorter. I'm also going to be speeding through these early nights. Probably because, you know, they're slow and boring. Later on, they become a lot more hectic, but with the way I play the game, there's not really a lot going on most of the time. Some of the picks might be a bit more surprising than you may expect, but some of these picks are... You would think they're really bad, but they really aren't. especially for doing how I want to play this. Since we're going around Talbot, that means we are not going to be picking up all the scrap animatronics such as Springtrap, Lefty, Scrap Baby, and Molten Freddy, though we still might pick up some of them because they're not that hard to deal with. And we also will be getting the gifts, but we're not going to give them to the puppet. For every gift you get, you can give it to Upgrade Cadet, and Upgrade Cadet will give you $5 for each, and that's an additional $20 throughout the run. Now, since we're going Talbot files, we also need $120. Ooh, that was. Because you need to buy the Talbot files in the Upgrades Commander section, which are always available, by the way, so you don't need to get lucky with free rolls and whatnot. Here we go. Now it's starting to ramp up. Now you can really see these tokens start flowing in. A little strategy later on when things start getting a bit too much in this mini game, by the way. When it's paused, you can still. Yeah, see that? You can pause to grab what you need. Because you don't have to like micromanage the pauses too much. You just pause anytime you need to grab something. And the moment you click back in, and when you click back in, it unpauses itself. So, you know, kind of just, which makes it really convenient. So you don't have to rush too much. Later on, you're gonna start having to pause every time you want to grab something because you're gonna need the time, especially with like some of the really high scores that I've gotten. Yeah, you see, the spawns are already starting to ramp up. Like, I was pause manipulating? Is that how we want to call this? I was microing these so freaking hard. This becomes a very major part of Circus Sorter, I would say. Because you're not penalized for doing this, by the way. Anyways, I want to keep my temperature down, so I'll put the camera down. But look at that. I haven't messed up a single time. I have 184 tokens. Before 3 AM. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Of course, not everyone's going to be as good as Circus Sorter. Play whatever minigame you want. For me, personally, Circus Sorter is just... I need to stop talking. Yeah, so either I meant to hit the fan, but I hit the mask instead. So I don't know how exactly Plush Scrap and Night and Marion are coded together. And something you're gonna see me do a lot is whenever one of the door robots appears, you can shut every door for like, you can shut both doors for a quick second and they'll be gone. You can do that quite often, really. Anyways, now we're at 200 tokens. This is what I would say is about the minimum that I would accept at this point of the game. Because, like I said, for every token, it's 10 additional cents. Which is going to be very needed for Talbot trials. Because with the salvages I'm grabbing themselves, I don't think it's enough to get everything from that you would need. And also, if I want more money, I can do that. Gives me an extra hour to buy stuff. To farm tokens. It becomes a really good investment, but you have to be aware of the power.
Hello?
I have killed myself a couple times by being greedy with my tokens like that. Not in the form that I'm not spending them, but in the form that I'm spending them to actively inhibit me. That's absolutely killed me a couple times. Yeah, see? They appear at the same time, so closing both doors usually works against both of them. Now, with the selection we're going to make, we're going to try to keep on a certain strategy where we don't need to move to separate cameras, usually. That's going to stay around until a couple nights where there's sound cues and audio. There's a lot of sound cues in this game that I like to rely on. we go. And yeah, we're just gonna have a lot of fun, aren't we? Anyways, for now we're at 200 tokens. 120 is about when you would probably start pause managing. You'd pause before grabbing everything. Because eventually these guys are starting to start coming in, like, real fast. Like, look at this. If I'm not pausing, yeah. See what I mean? These guys come in fast and get you a lot of tokens. Which would make something like, ooh, I might need a... I got 300 tokens, that should be fine. I'm gonna play the rest of this night safely. As much as I'd like to keep farming tokens, I don't have any more power-ups to use. Yeah, that's what I mean when you buy the distortion clock that sets your time back an hour. Sometimes you might run out of power. Also.
Hello?
Anyways, for power-ups we're gonna get, along with the Talbot files. Yes, I said along with. We're gonna be making a lot of money during this run. There we go. $32. Cool. We're gonna be getting a lot of money during this run because of what I'm picking here. 2 deaths on night 1 is embarrassing. It just speaks to the rest, though. Anyways. We're gonna be mostly skipping over these cutscenes because they don't really do anything. There we go. Anyways, you're gonna see my first picks of the night. Technically morning, because I'm very awake during this. Woke up like an hour ago, had a quick stretch, and now we're gonna be doing things. Alright, cool. First grab, Withered Freddy. He's more of a metronome than anything, so he's not big. So he's not a very big threat. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna grab Withered Foxy. You just have to flash him at the window when he pops up a couple times. From there, we are then going to go over this direction and grab Withered Chica. I have literally only ever had her kill me once. She moves that slowly through the vents. Like she has never been a threat to me. So she's basically a free $9. And then we're gonna go over here and grab Withered Body. While his timing can be really bad at some points, usually he's not getting much in the way.
Come get your upgrade here.
Anyways, here's Upgrade Cadet. Now then, when you want to buy upgrades, we want to buy the Talbot files, which is 120. And if you haven't noticed, we're already at $92. Mini Multiplier. It's really good if you want to go for this route, so we're gonna buy that. The other one I would suggest is Bear Change, because Bear Change allows you to get 2 coins if you buy it twice. For every let's order with this. For every upgrade of Bear Change you get an additional 0.5 cents when you hit back an animatronic, which is really good. However, since we're gonna focus more on mini games for tokens this time, we're gonna go with Mini Multiplier, which is basically the same, but I think it's a 1.225 times instead of a 1.5 times. Anyways, we're gonna go to 100 score to get the present. Gonna give that to Upgrade Cadet, and then we're gonna move on to the next night. This is kind of what we're building towards, okay? These first builds that we are doing here are just like small hindrances. Now, the ones you want to avoid in the first area is Endo, because we're going to be grabbing more flashlight animatronics later, and also Golden Freddy, at least for me. Golden Freddy has a chance to appear at every single camera flip, and for me, he happens almost all the time, because I am unlucky as all hell. And we're also going to be avoiding Endo, because we're going to be grabbing a lot of flashlight animatronics here. Flashlight animatronics aren't really that bad, and Endo essentially makes you can't grab any of them, which is absolutely horrible, especially for my playstyle. Anyways, they don't activate until a little while later. So we're just gonna, we're just gonna keep playing Circus Sorter. That is when you can close the door on him, and then he'll bonk, and then he'll continue on his merry way. Right about now is when he stopped. He missed a step, so you hit the bonk. Now, of course, you can always just watch him at the window. Like, you don't have to specifically listen for when he stops walking. I just do it personally. Might need one of these to get through the night.
If I could just...
Do I have 2 fucking balloon boys, dude? Like, what the fuck was that? Fuck! But that's about it. That's all of them, really. All the animatronics. Look how many fucking... Okay. $29 off tokens. Not bad. Not bad. Actually, pretty damn good. We're not going to be using a lot of power. Later on, we're going to be ending nights with like 50% power. That's how rough some of these nights are going to be. Anyways. Location 2. Bark, bark. The new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Anyways, first, actually, let's check Upgrade Cadet first.
Come get your upgrade.
Because if you need to change something... Ah, yikes, okay. Usually I like getting bear change here, but I'll pass on that for now. Because I want Cupcake Cartridge. Now, you may be like, Click, don't we need Talbot File? Why the fuck are you splurging on upgrades? Because we're grabbing this guy! And now's about time when Circus Sorter starts falling off, because you don't have enough time to be able to focus on it and let it ramp up enough. So, we're not going to. Now then, for animatronics, we're going to be grabbing Toy Bonnie as well. He's just another animatronic you gotta keep track of. He's not that bad. And what may surprise a lot of you, we're grabbing Shadow Bonnie. He's not bad to deal with. Because he's just the best way I can explain him is a music box that you need to check on. He's a music box in your office that requires a flashlight. That is it. That is the best way I could possibly describe him, and it's pretty goddamn accurate. We're also gonna go in here and grab the present because we want the money. And we're going to leave. Night 3. Not gonna be too bad. Now we're gonna start using cupcakes instead of Circus Sorter. While you could arguably use Circus Sorter this night, things are gonna start getting really bad really quickly here. So you might not be able to do it as much as you want. But it's definitely an option. There's Shadow Bonnie. He appears right here. When he gets really close, he starts making music noises. Music box.
Oh, security guy. I'll find out eventually. But I love it. Bye-bye.
Literally every animatronic attacked me there. Holy shit. Except Weather Chica. She literally never does anything in the entire game. She might kill you once or twice, but like... It is very rare. Yeah, see that? 279 tokens. 0.5 technically, because Cupcake Clicker. I got about 80 of those just from the animatronics. It is absurd how many tokens you get for just fending them off. Anyways, Area 3! Right. Let's go salvage. Anyways, first thing I'm gonna do here.
Get your upgrade here.
Power files. Let's not forget what we're here to do. Now then, we're not getting healthy, but we are gonna get phantoms. This is another reason you don't want to get animatronics that appear on camera flip down, besides Withered Bonnie, he gives you plenty of time. Because any other when you get jump scared by the phantoms, and this is something I learned the hard way. If you are jump scared by the phantoms at the same time as, let's say, Wicked Wolf comes down, that is guaranteed death. You cannot do anything. You have like maybe 5 frames to 1, see where his thing is, 2, click it, because you're stuck, you cannot move, you cannot change what you're doing, nothing. You're just stuck in a jump scare animation. It is absolutely horrendous to deal with. Which is why we're going to avoid them. Phantoms themselves cannot kill you, but they can, so therefore we're going to grab phantoms. Also, what's the FNAF 3 code again? There we go. We're going to grab Scrap Baby here because it's a free $15. Scrap Scrap Baby is just something you gotta shock every once in a while. She's not that bad. And then, for the last pick, this one might surprise a lot of people. Because this creature, specifically, Malhair, is constantly said to be one of the worst animatronics. While I do still agree with that, he is significantly less difficult to deal with in lunatic mode. I'm not going nearly fast enough, whatever. The goal here is to... have to do that. We want to line up the entire top half with, pairs. So that way we don't have to go looking for them. I need one of these chicas over there. Do that. This, that, there. That. That. See? Now we're lined up with only pairs. Done. Gotta think a little bit about that one. And also, it's just really bad because you don't have nearly enough time to do what you need. Not over here. Go over here.
Come get your upgrade here.
Give him the gift. And now since we got Talbot files, we can spend whatever we need on just upgrades. For the upgrade sections we have here, all ears in Retina Burner are good. Retina Burner deals with the Phantoms, Shadow Bonnie, and also Withered Foxy. All ears is all we're gonna need because we don't need to see in the office. And it allows us to, you know, hear with the mask on, which is great. Now we're gonna go over this way. You can hold up to 5 items at a time. Now that's probably when I'm gonna start using items, honestly. Because now's when things start getting slightly difficult. If you can get 40 coins per clicks per camera flip, that's pretty good.
Hello? Bye-bye. Does somebody need a hug? Must have been the wind. Bye-bye.
I think trying to play Circus Sorter in this condition would be absolutely horrendous with how much we're dealing with at the same time here.
Oh, security guy. I'll find you eventually.
With how much we're dealing with at the same time here, Circus Sorter is absolutely horrendous to be playing at this stage. And this is before even the
Does somebody need a
FNAF 3 animatronics is added, dude.
Must have been the wind.
Which is why Cupcake Clicker is so good. It's the hard counter to Toy Freddy, because he's always stuck at 200 clicks on this, even at max AI value. It's just good for farming tokens. Nice, quick, and easy, not really having to think much.
Hi.
Yeah, that's Music Man. Music Man makes fake sound cues. Mr. Hippo is just another animatronic. He can't kill you, though. See, Malhair hasn't appeared yet, and I've been flipping up the camera a fair amount. Ooh, shit. There we go. There's Malhair.
Hi. Bye-bye.
So now we're gonna change the playstyle. Instead of flipping up whenever we want, when we have free time, we are now going to instead only flip when either Scrap Baby appears,
Hello?
or when you hit Puppet.
Bye-bye.
And then during that small time frame where we have the cameras up, we're then gonna play mini games. Right here. We reset music. Wanna play a mini game? Down. Notice by the time I flip down, I have enough time to deal with, you know, the robots. And also, how little power we're using. We're halfway through the night. We still have, like, we still have quite a lot of bars, really. Compared to how I was, like, playing beforehand, and how, like, I almost died to power a couple times. Yeah, Music Man can't get annoying, but it's fine.
Somebody need a hug. Hello there. In the wind. Bye-bye. Oh, security guy. I do not have time.
The amount of fucking sound cues. Yeah, Music Man can make Discord sound effects too. Very funny. That would have been funny if my door was open. Five left.
I know you're in here somewhere. Oh, security guy. I'll find you eventually.
Yeah, that was Mr. Hippo.
Hello.
He makes the vent sound effect when he gets in, but he doesn't like have like his he doesn't have like a designated talking sound effect.
If I could just this past here. My sensors aren't really
And boom. $24 off tokens, guys. There you go. 4.77%. Does that mean Toy Freddy gets $2 every single night because he does 20? No, it's a token every 5 clicks. 200 divided by 5. That means Toy Freddy gets like $4 every single night because he gets the 200 clicks. Anyways, night before Talbert. What we're gonna be doing is grabbing Dreadbear, because he's not bad to deal with. We are then going to go inside. We're going to grab Nightmare Fredbear. He's essentially just lowers our temperature meter. That's about it. And we're already keeping our temperature relatively low due to Shadow Bonnie, so he's not that big of an issue. Nightmare BB is not bad. You just gotta remember. You just gotta change your playstyle a little bit. And the Nightmare on, we're not looking around much in the office anyways. I'm also going to do this. Hell yeah. One go. You don't need to do it in one go, I just do it because, yes, it's funny. I'm gonna give you the present. Now, upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. Overshark is arguably good here. Retina Burner Plus is good. Let's do Bear Change. No, let's do Employee Discount. Let's do one more reroll. Sure, I'll do Mini Multiplier Plus. Oh, yeah. If you want, you can also grab Molten Freddy here. He's not a big issue. He's just a Foxy that can appear at both sides. I will grab him. He is up here, right? Yes, he is. Code for this is... Spring Bonnie. William Afton's favorite child. There we go. Grab him. You can go back to the entrance now. And tonight, I'm actually gonna play seriously.
Well...
Oh, security guard. Now what is that I spot? Well, that's just right. Bye-bye. If I could just squeeze past you. Oh, security guard. Hello? Bye-bye.
Well, am I glad to see you? You know, I'd actually been thinking about it a lot recently. Specifically magic, because my buddy Orville, he's a magician. And, there's a lot of argument in the world about the real, the believability of magic, whether or not it For me, magic is strange. I've heard about all sorts of different things, and all sorts of spiritual, strange subjects, like, pretty sure I've heard something about remnant being uttered here and there. But that's here, nor here, nor there. I don't really understand any of that. What I do understand is card games. And the card games have been getting really popular recently. For example, I can't, it's something to do with magic, I believe. But I've been seeing some of the kids' older brothers and sisters playing in the big kids section of the restaurant. And I thought it was interesting, and I had a closer look every once in a while, and they would show me the ropes, and I gotta say, card games have been getting really complicated. You know, back in my day, we used to just play blackjack and poker, and go fish and tiddlywinks or whatever. It's interesting how complicated modern things can really get. Like, have you ever tried to use a computer? Of course you have, it's a part of your job, but there's so much to do. You open the menus and it just hits you with a wave of options. All sorts of little applications, I believe they're called. That, you know, programs. Just you can watch moving pictures, you can listen to music. It's insane. I couldn't believe my eyes. You know? What's next? Right? Anyway, so I was also thinking about where was I? Hey, you know what? Maybe.
That was clutch. Yeah, now's when you gotta start using tokens. Start passing through the goddamn night, cause holy shit, dude. I only died 5 times, felt like more. Okay then, now then, things are gonna start actually getting hard because it's Talbot 5. Oh, is it over already? What a shame! I felt like things were just getting started. I felt like it could work just... Ah. Wah! Such visceral rage! What's the occasion? I've been scammed, swindled, hoodwinked! When were you gonna tell me about these files, huh? I've got a lot of files, which one are you talking about? The ones I found in your office, you stooge! I took a look through them, and as it turns out, the old jerks told me the company were hiding millions in property right under my nose! Look, you're the only chump I can trust with this, so shut your trap and listen up! According to these files, there's a secret bunker out there in the middle of the woods. And more importantly, the place is stuffed to the brim with animatronics that could make me rich! I need your... I'll do it. Wow, that's easy. I didn't even say what the job was yet. But there, if you say so. Now I'll move it! Time is money! Alright, cool. Wait a second, you're not supposed to be here. Now then, for the animatronics I'm grabbing here, since all the animatronics suck, frankly. First one we're gonna grab is Circus Baby, this emotional manipulating bitch. We're then going to grab Funtime Foxy.
It's showtime!
I believe from here, you grab Lobit. That's the Circus Sorter minigame. And then from here, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place because we kind of have to get something here that's bad. But for all purposes, because we're abusing doors, we're gonna grab Funtime Fuck. We're gonna grab Funtime Freddy. Now, I don't want to bother with the boxes yet, but what I will bother with is the shop here. Now, for the shop, I'm gonna buy Overstock. Now, I would much rather get Bear Change than Overstock, honestly. Especially with part of the strategy here. But, it's fine. We'll be fine, probably. We got the salvages we need. We're not grabbing Lolhax because he sucks. I genuinely just don't like him. And we're gonna leave.
I do not have time for this. If I could just suck these cats. Hello? Hello? Oopsies. Oh, security guard.
Hi, I'm glad to see you. You know, I'd actually been thinking about it a lot recently. Specifically magic, because my buddy Orville, he's a magician. And there's a lot of argument over the believability of magic, whether or not it can even think. And for me, magic is strange. I've heard about all sorts of different things, and all sorts of spiritual, strange subjects, like, pretty sure I've heard something about remnant being uttered here and there. That's here, no here, no there. I don't really understand any of that. What I do understand is the card games. And the card games have been getting really popular recently. For example, it's something to do with magic, I believe. But I've seen some of the kids' older brothers and sisters playing in the big kids section of the restaurant. And I thought it was interesting. I had a closer look at it once in a while, and they'd show me the ropes, and I gotta say, card games have been getting really complicated. You know, back in my day, we used to just play blackjack, poker, go fish, and tiddlywinks or whatever. It's interesting how complicated modern things can really get. Like, have you ever tried to use a computer? Of course you have. It's a part of your job, but there's so much to do. You open the menus and it just hits you with a wave of options. All sorts of little applications, I believe they're called.
Hello?
That, programs just did. You can watch moving pictures, you can listen to music. It's insane. I couldn't believe my eyes. You know? What's next, right? Anyway,
Ready for a surprise?
so I was also thinking about
Hi.
where was it? You know what? Maybe it'll come back to me later. I'll see you later.
Hello there.
Senses aren't what they used to be.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that's just ready.
Take it away, Five. Hello? Bye-bye.
No, they're in here somewhere.
Get ready for a surprise.
Ah! Let me guess, 36 deaths. 46 deaths! Holy shit, dude. So being Rusty will do to you. Holy shit. God damn. Okay. Yeah, no. That holds my theory true. Talbot Files is the hardest route. Talbot Files is the hardest route. Maybe after you guys see all the routes, I'll do a tier list on which routes are hardest, but Talbot route is hardest. Also, I need this fucking... I need this credit song on my Spotify list. Like, it's so good. I need it. Whew. Anyways, those are my picks. If I'm forced to do Talbot's route again, those are my picks. $458, holy shit. I died 46 times in the last night and 9 times throughout the rest of the game. Let that say something. On Salvage, I almost did it first try. Salvage route, that's the one I'm gonna do after this. I did that almost first try. It took me like 3 tries to beat that. It was so easy. Files are the hardest. You cannot convince me otherwise. I'm gonna make that my outro. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Nice to know ya. I'm gonna start editing this now. Good night.